Rte Records. The 3rd of March 2024, the snow is mostly gone and it only affected western parts of Ireland, but it's cold out. You need heat in a big way. The staff at Radio Television, Ireland's national broadcaster, had a bit of a shock. We seem to live in an era of shocks, political and all that, and media shocks, but there are a few things that caught them. Now, the month of February 2024 was more or less the same as any other month of February that's gone before for the last 40 years. Okay, the worst February was 1947, when there was at least 12 to 15 feet of snow in Ireland and higher in places. A lot of cattle died and a lot of people died and all of that. But RTE were all set because the 1st of March is the meteorological beginning of spring. Now, when I was at school, I was taught that the 1st of February, St. Bridget's Day, was the beginning of spring. Okay, so that presented me with a problem in that the 1st of August was the beginning of autumn. And I'm programmed from school days to that. However, it looks very much to me that the real summer is June, July and August. If we're to be really fair about it, that is when you get any bit of nice weather in Europe, particularly Northern Europe. Okay, so I'm programmed, however, to think that the 1st of February, 1st of May, 1st of August and 1st of November is the beginning of the seasons. However, that's not the way it is now. It's to do with the equinox of the summer, when the days and the nights are equal. Okay, so the meteorologicalists say it's a month later. In any event, in modern times, that's the way it's panning out, and there's no ideal time, and it's not worth arguing about anyway. But there was no snow in February. There was a bit of frost. It was probably about 2 degrees colder, if anything, than some of the Februaries that have gone before. Now, Radio Television is always and never selecting months where there was a warm month and telling us it's the hottest on record. It's the hottest since records began. They constantly do it. They live for it. Their ministers and their government are all green people, so they have to toe the line. In any event, they didn't have the brains to realise that that February is a leap year. And that means there's 29 days in February. So they would normally broadcast on the 1st of March, which was the 29th of February in a normal year, that it was the hottest February since records began. Now, if you take it that they've been at that for nearly 12 years, you would expect we'd be basking in sunshine and heat. So how many years will RTE tell us it's the hottest from records began, till it becomes obvious to even the dumbest dunces, as you have in the Green Party, and as Eamon Ryan was described as a dunce, which he is, that if you keep saying every month is slightly hotter than the one that went before, they would realise that eventually somebody's telling porky pies. Somebody is lying to them. Now, the 1st of March turned out that at about 3 a.m. in the morning there came an outrageous fall of snow. There was 5 inches of snow in a lot of parts of Dublin and in Connacht. Funny enough, it didn't come to Dundalk, Carrickmacross, Kingscourt, Nobber and that, but it came to a good deal of the west of Ireland, and it was heavy and it created a bit of a problem. A lot of schools had to be closed because it would be dangerous enough driving to schools. But the thing about it is, anyway, they looked out the window and they were about to bawl about the warmest year on record, and they had to call it off. They had to stop. They never mentioned it at all. So they say March goes in like a lion, comes in like a lion and goes out like a lamb. So they'll be hoping for that. And when they get through March, if there's a mild end to it, no doubt we'll hear about it being the warmest year on record. This is all lies, of course. One of the things that probably didn't notice was a leap year. I'd say a lot of the snowflake dolly birds, and they're always women presenters there with their pencil skirts on them, will be. Now, I'm not talking about the weather forecast people, mind you. They haven't mentioned that. I don't mean Meta Erin. They are broadcast on RTE. You have to have a weather service, and I use them. So I want to make that clear. I'm not particularly referring to the weather service, the Meta Erin. I am referring to the RTE presenters themselves. And they got it wrong, but all they have to do is wait and come again the next time round at the end of March. But there is another horrific thing about the leap year that will really space them out. It's an election year in America. And President Trump has trounced his opponent Nikki Haley in 3 more primary elections. They'll try to do all kinds of things to him and all that, but it's a good bet at this stage. Excuse me. It's a good bet at this stage that he's going to make the nomination, and he's very, very popular, as he's the best hope to bring some bit of sanity to this mad world of ours. The one thing which is higher than there since records began, the highest things since records began, is the pay of departing, retiring RTE executives. Their pay figures are coming out all the time. There are calls for the present headman in RTE, Burkhart, or whoever you call him, to give us the figures for everybody there. But they're jumping the sinking ship, and they're looking for big payouts, and the people running it, including the Green Party, Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, are giving them big wads of money as they depart, having brought the place to its knees, having wrecked the radio and television station with their green woke agenda. There was one on it called Katrina Perry, never quit shouting about the Russian hoax on Trump, which was turned out to be completely false. So that's the story. They got caught out because it was a leap year. It was a leap year. And there was 5 inches of snow on that global warmed Ireland since records began, and the only thing higher was the pay of the executives. Bye, folks. We'll see you back. Give me a thumbs up if you agree and comment underneath. Thank you.